Alright, y'all, so it's your boy. I'm back with another video, and I'm finna try to eat this one out real quick before I get to work and before this game. The Nets play us tonight, and they just came off a back-to-back, and I don't ever factor that in to my, I guess, per 10 game, synopsis. I just kind of go off of based on what we have. So when I made this prediction a month or so ago, it was under the premise that both teams would be fresh and fully healthy. We don't have an answer for KD. Blake Griffin could give us buckets too. They got a couple guys on that team that can give us buckets. But they don't really have a true center. And so I think that's where we have an advantage. Okay, like if there's a game where Veuc is going to get off, to me it's this game. Now, that's not really what I want to talk about. But if we beat them, I want to end it on this note. We beat them with 7-3. I had them pegged. Alright, I had them pegged to be 7-3 or 8-2, depending on Philly. I never thought they were going to lose both games to Philly, especially a Philly team that got injured, well, that had people out for COVID protocols. Hell, Embiid is gone today now too. Praying we don't miss anybody, but all of our guys were all on this nigga. And Lonzo almost got hit in the head and then was all hugged up with the nigga, like, shortly after that, too. On some, like, hey, it wasn't intentional, my bad, kind of deal. But, so we might end up with some guys missing games because of COVID protocol coming up under, like, a tremendous slate of games, like, Mavs, Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, Denver, Portland, like, insane. And fucking insane. However, again, like I said, that ain't what I want to talk about. So, last I checked, the Bulls were dead last in three-point attempts, but they were like 6th in percentage. I'm not sure what those numbers are right now. Okay, which means they didn't take as many as everybody else in the league, but the ones they did take, they hit at a high percentage. So, that's good to show. The problem is right now, the only person on the team that can kind of hit threes is Zoe. Zoe's the only one that can hit threes. He's the only one on the team right now at 40%. Everybody else is below. And I think DeRozan might be at like 37, 38% or something, maybe 36% on the year. Zach LaVine's at 34%. Insane, I know. Guy who had like 40% or 41% last year for three is like 7 percentage points worse. Granted, we haven't got to game 10 yet. That's tonight. But it just goes to show you where this team is at. So at this point, if I'm Billy Donovan, I might have to say, Zoe, you need to take 15 shots a game. You need to throw up at least 9 threes alone. You're the only one that's knocking you down. You need to take as many threes as we can get to. So, you're going to get 6 shots. Like, it might literally be like, so you're going to have to take 3 or 4 shots every quarter. Every fucking quarter. You're going to have to hoist them. Like, you're going to have to go like full aggro. You're going to go full aggressive. Like, you're only putting up like 10.5 shots a game. Bro, you're going to have to put up like another 5 shots a game. And I know that's odd to hear. It's like, well, wouldn't that make him like a 3-and-D player? Look, I don't give a fuck about labels right now. They need his shooting because he's the only one that's on it right now. Normally, we have to wait until like the middle of the year for Zoe to get it going. Thank God he got it going already. He's taking efficient 3-point shots at that. So thank God he already got it going. But they need more. And if nobody else is going to shoot him, hey, let him hoist him. Maybe he hits 3 or 4 a game. And we go from there. It would up his scoring for sure. And at this point, you're going to need it. Because Veuc can't hit shit. And I would spend less time with Veuc camping out at the three-point line. It'd be like on a per-need basis. And you're just going to have to, like, you might have to run some screen and roll action with Zoe as the screener. Like, give different looks and stuff. Because right now, this is just not... They need more of Zoe shooting. And, I'm sorry, I got to play Mario Kart in my own fucking car because people got shit flying all over the road. It's crazy. I had to fucking swerve just then. Because, here we go! But, you know, it's insane how bad this team is shooting. And, it's one of the things I thought might be an issue this year. And people are talking about Kobe White. Kobe White shot 35% from three. What are you talking about? What is he going to do? Now, maybe you're like, okay, you project him to improve. Okay, fine. I ain't got an issue with that. Okay, fair enough. Bring Kobe. If that's where we're going with it, hey, I got no issue with that. Let Kobe shoot. But again, everybody else on the team is sucking. DeRozan's only taking like 1 or 2 a game. That's not enough for anything. So, you know, you might like, what's the point in just saying, okay, let's get Kobe here if the only people that can make it is Zoe and maybe Kobe and DeRozan on extremely small volume. Nobody else on the team is making them. And so until somebody else or until we get guys on the team that can actually knock them down, I don't see the point of us like becoming this massive three-point shooting team. Now, I don't think Zach is going to stay in this slump forever, but you know, maybe it has something to do with his thumb injury. Because at one point he was at like 37%, and then at another point he was like in the 40s. Zoe was in the 40s, went down to the 30s, and got back up to the 40s. Okay? Zach LaVine is just going further and further down. And I hope whatever this injury is, it heals, and it's not going to be an issue for a long time. And that, you know, he can go back and get his groove on, and then he just tear it up. He have like a month where he's shooting like 60% from three. And then we got fucking light-skinned Splash Brothers. Well, shit, I can't even say light-skinned because hell, Steph and Clay light-skinned. You got the fucking Splash Brothers East. But they're going to need something, man. They're going to need to supplement some shooting somewhere. Either that, they're going to have to play Matt Thomas. I have to play Matt Thomas. Might have to go get Marko Simonovic from the G League. Might have to. But you need to do something because this ain't going to work. This is not going to fucking work long term. You know, I think the Bulls over the 2 games with Philly hit 13 threes. And I think Philly alone hit like 25 over both of those games. That's an additional what? 36 points. Now we lost the first game by like 5 or 3 points. I can't remember. I think it was by 3. This game we lost by like 9. This is like the biggest deficit in a loss we've suffered all year. Still single digits though. So the games are not like blowouts, they're contested. Which is good, but still, you know, 2/3 of our losses is from one team that was riddled with COVID issues. So, you know, and then Embiid is out now with COVID, so he was all hooked up with Zoe and, you know, showing love, playing in the game, sweating all over the place with our team. So, you know, you never know. Now it might spread to our team. They got like 3 or 4 people who are out with COVID right now on Philly. And we're going into this stretch of games where we got the Mavs. We got Brooklyn tonight, the Mavs, I think on Wednesday. Matter of fact, for that reason, I don't think we have any more back-to-backs. I mean, not back-to-backs. I don't think we have any more double days off, 2 days off, until like either the end of the month or the beginning of December, I think. But, you know, we got Brooklyn, Dallas, Clippers, Lakers, Golden State, Denver, Portland. All right, these are the teams we're finna play. And most of these are road games. Like after the Mavericks game, I think on what is it, Wednesday? We are road games. And you're gonna get tired and worn out having to play these games on the road. And we got a back-to-back with the Clippers and the Lakers. LeBron may or may not be back. AD is still hurting in his mangina. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? I should have said that. Yeah, whatever. It's mangina. It's mangina sore. Okay? So, AD's mangina sore. We might actually beat the Lakers, which won't be much of an achievement, but we might actually beat the Lakers. Okay? But we finna have a dogfight, and we still don't have any shooting. Now, the shooting thing is not bad if you can guarantee you're going to get, like, good three-point shooting all around. Like, we're going to get, if we're going to get the team shooting, like, 39, 40% from three, that's not bad. You can do something with that. But if we're going to have nights, like, we got 6 of 29 from three, not going to win any games. If we're 6 of, say, 19, a little bit different. We can win some games like that, especially if we're getting into the paint and some other things. And it's funny because back on the Pelicans, I used to a lot of times watch the post-game stuff. Sometimes I'd watch it before I did my videos. Sometimes I'd watch it after. I don't think at all. Yeah, I have not watched a post-game video with Billy Donovan and them talking to the media. It's like all year, I don't think I've ever done one. No, I haven't. Okay, all year I have not watched one of them like the same day it happened. It's usually like the next day. Like they have not been a part of like my post-game, talk. And it's funny because Billy Donovan kind of repeated the same sentiments I had. Like this team don't get into the paint enough. This team does not get into the paint enough, and they should. They need to get into the paint. They're gonna need to draw fouls. They're gonna need to, keep the game at their pace. Draw the fouls. Get to the free throw line. Knock them down. Get your free points. Set your defense, and just tear teams up. But they don't. They settle for shooting because we got shooters. We got motherfucking shooters. Zach, Rosen, Veuc, Zoe, Caruso. Despite all, intents and purposes, people sleep on the fact he's a shooter. He shot 40% from three last year. Not a lot of volume, but he still did it. And when I talk about shooting for the Rosen, I mean like mid-range and shit. The starting lineup is the shooters. The bench is the problem. And so I know a lot of people are like, oh, we're going to get Kobe. It really don't mean shit. All right, so I just had to get out and let myself in through the gate. And as I was pausing the video, I was like, damn, I have food stains all on my shirt. I don't know. It didn't seem like I was, having like, it didn't seem like I was being a messy eater, but I guess that burger had a lot more ketchup and mayonnaise and shit than I thought. I'm like, God damn, I look bad right now. But I know a lot of people are thinking like Kobe White will help. Kobe shot 35% from three, okay? And if you say, well, he should improve, I have no issue with that. Okay, if he's going to improve and you think he's going to hit like 37, 38, then we need Kobe White for sure. But I mean, outside that 35% is not going to help us. Like, I mean, he's going to eat up somebody's minutes, okay? And that's fine that he's going to, eat some minutes. But how much damage are y'all expecting him to do? We got people already complaining about ball movement. myself to be included. And so you're saying, okay, you're going to put him in with who? DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and what touches is he going to get? You know, how many touches are we saying he's going to get? If he's getting 10 touches, how many are you expecting him to make? He's never been a 50% shooter from the field. Are we expecting that kind of leap from him? Hell, Zoe was better from like a better shooter than him overall last year. Better from three, and I think even from like field goal. Like just overall, I think Zoe was a better shooter. So what shots is he gonna take and stuff? Now you might say better talent, he'll do better overall, but there's talk about this Wilson ball actually affecting people's shots, and like the league in general is like way down. And we could argue the changes to the rules might have something to do with it, how fouls are called and other things. But it also is affecting defense because they're letting a lot more contact happen, which I like. I think it's good for the game. But that could be affecting shooting too. So some people who are used to getting high guarding numbers aren't going to get them this year. How's that going to affect Kobe White, who hasn't played much and has been injured for months, right? So how's that going to affect him? Like how's that supposed to benefit the team, and how is he going to respond to that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. This team needs shooting, and I really think at this point you might just have to say, look, Zoe, you're gonna have to take 15 shots a game, and 9 of them gonna have to be 3, maybe 10, and the other 5 is like mid-range and attacks at the rim until we get that shooting, and we're gonna need you to like knock down shots. You might be like, well, that's 3 and D roll, yeah. What? He's gonna have to do 3 and D roll. A little bit more. I mean, be honest though. I can't even say 3 and D because he's been playing defense, but he ain't taking enough shots for me to call him a 3 and D player this year. But that would probably make him a 3 and D player, which is fine. I don't mind him doing different roles or different parts of roles. I just need him to have, you know, he needs to actually just play the game the right way and get the shots within the flow of the offense. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, you're taking 10 shots a game. 50% of that would be like 5. At most, he could get 15 points, or at worst, he could get 10. And so that's why I want people to realize, like, even when it comes to Zoe, you got to look at the number of shots he's taking a game, and you got to be fair about it from that perspective. Okay, you know, it's not like he's going to average gaudy numbers, right? If you give him 16 and you say make 50%, that means he needs to make 8 shots. That means at the lowest, assuming like he's making 50% of his shots, he would be at 16 if he took all 2s. At the most, he would be at 24 if he took all 3s. And so, you know, we know he's a 40% shooter, so it wouldn't even be that much. Like, it would be probably what, 6 shots out of 16-ish? I think that's about right. That should be about right, or close to it. So that's what, 12 to 18 points a game, give or take. And I see that's what a lot of people, I think, kind of want him at, or at least closer to the higher end. So I'm just doing it to paint a perspective of, you know, what he would need to do to get to those points, to get to those numbers that people want from him. But I think most people would be upset if this bro taking 16 shots and he's only getting 16 points. Even if it was an efficient shooting, people would still be like, yeah, but he's only getting to 16. He needs to put more than that. Like, they would expect getting to the free throw line. They would expect more threes, you know. And so I think that's kind of where we're at with this. Let me also say this. If he's going to shoot 40% from 3, that's going to help his overall numbers. So if he is someone who's shooting like, say, if he gets his field goal percentage up to like 44, 45%, he'll probably look more like a 43% field goal shooting overall. Like, if we're talking about the 2s get up to like 44, 45%, he'll look like 43%, which ain't bad, you know. I kind of had him at like 44, 45% this year. This is what I wanted to see. This is about to be game 10. Glad I said that. This is what I need to talk to y'all about. Let me take the glasses off. This is important. What people need to realize, we're about to hit game 10. The tape is there on this team. You can get away with some things the first 5 games. They were 4-1. They've lost 2 of the last 4. They're 50%. If they lose tonight, that's 40%. If they win, that's 60%. Either way, the last 5 games have been incredibly difficult compared to the first 5. The quality opponent has also increased. And with that, you can say, they're not as good as the teams that they on level with. They about equal. Which is fair. That's fair. But if you're saying they're a middle of the pack team amongst the best, it's like a 5th or 6th seed. Take it how you view it. But the road is going to get much harder. 10 games was the threshold. People are studying them. Teams are studying them. They are not sleeping on this team. They got into the lab and said, okay, this is how we D'ing them up. One thing that I mentioned is the Javonte Green thing. They sagging off of him. They're not even playing him on defense, which makes it harder for everybody else. We want to talk about tough shots that people are getting. Doubles on Zach, doubles on DeRozan, doubles on Veuc. You need another guy out there. Maybe with Pat Will, it was a little bit more space. And since Pat Will went down, which was game 5, ironically, it became harder to guard them the last 4 games, and now they're 2-2. So maybe if we want to talk about the effect of Pat Will, we could say they went from a team that was 5-1 or 4-1 level to like a team that's like middle of the pack. And you would sit there and be like, well, damn, did he really have that big of a difference? Well, it's a small sample size of him playing with them. And even though his numbers weren't there, he still was on the court. And so he was still doing things on the court. On top of Zach's thumb injury, too. So we're going to hit a very tight spot, very tight road. And it's not going to be easy. Things are not going to get better. So hopefully we don't have any COVID issues. Hopefully we get Kobe back very soon. And he's very good. Hopefully Veuc turns it around. I think this is the game that Veuc turns it around because they don't, to my knowledge, Brooklyn don't have a true center. And so they might have LaMarcus Aldridge and stuff. They might, have Blake Griffin, who could go off too. But I think Veuc should be able to do something against both of them. Even if it's just in the paint. And I don't think he needs to take a shit ton of threes anymore. I think he needs to get down in the paint. Last game, he was like 4-9 from shooting from everything that wasn't on the perimeter. So all his regular field goals was just 4-9. That's sufficient. I'd rather him take more shots in there instead of out. Because going 1 of 7 for 3, he's shooting like 25% for 3. That's terrible. It's fucking terrible. I mean, his regular field goal percentage ain't much better. But it's better enough that you would rather feed him that versus other, because he's averaging like 13 points and like 11 rebounds. He's playing like a guy. He's playing like a starter level center, but he's taking high second, third option shots, first option shots, and that's not good. So I think this is a game he does well. We'll see what happens with the rest of the season. But look, that's all I really got. That's all I really want to talk about. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. And like I said, I also have to do a 10 game preview for the games 21 through 30. I'm gonna try. What I'm trying to do is once we get through 10 games, every 10 games, I want to go ahead and start the next 10, so that it gives us time to focus in on the current 10, and then we can kind of start looking ahead for what's to come. Um, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all I got. Have a good one. Peace.